going, which ended abruptly. Hopefully that I don't know if that one's still going, but hopefully this one's working. I'll tell you guys a story in a few minutes when we get some people on here. But just down here in Georgetown for a few hours, thought I'd do a live stream. Unfortunately, I don't know of any palms in this immediate area. There's one, a nice one, maybe a mile down or so on the west end of Georgetown, and then about a mile over. I actually am going to walk over there at the end. I don't know if I'll be on the live stream still, but I'm going to Metro in DuPont Circle where there's a number of palms over there. But this area is, I don't know of any immediately here. There may be some in the neighborhoods, but there is that nice monkey puzzle tree, which I'm going to try to go visit. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick little live stream here, show you guys all that's going on here. It is a bit of a chillier day today. It's really interesting. I didn't actually notice this until someone pointed it out, but our weather basically is repeating in like 1 week cycles. So every week, there's just like 2 days of cold weather, and then we get the whole week is warm. Unfortunately, those 2 days coincide with the weekend, so the weekend's cold, and then like the whole week was in the 60s. Next week will be in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. But unfortunately, the weekends are kind of cold. Today the high is like 50. It's like 49 right now. Sun's going down, getting a bit chillier, but nothing too bad. Tomorrow is supposed to be pretty miserable, rainy, and like a high of 41 or something really cold. So average this time of year is probably a bit below 50, but our average for February so far, I mean, we're only 11 days into February, but I'm guessing our average for February so far is probably at least in the 50s. I mean, we had that one night of 13 Fahrenheit, like I'm guessing that was early, maybe February 3rd or something, early in February. But I mean, basically every other day has been 50 plus. We've had like 4 days in the 60s now. So it's been gorgeous here, but just a bit chillier today, and then tomorrow, and then it'll be nice and warm after that. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, all's well here. It's unfortunately my two palms. You may know my little palms got spear pull. The exact same two palms that got spear pull last year. They just the Wagnerianus probably seems a little less hardy than the Fortunae, and then that Fortunae, the little one that got spear pull, that thing's just been through some brutal. The first winter I planted it wasn't a particularly bad winter. It was the first palm I actually planted along with another Fortunae. It was, I knew nothing about palms. I was just starting my YouTube channel then, and the Fortunae, unfortunately, got, what was I trying to say? The Fortunae, unfortunately, I planted it in like December because I got it for my birthday in December. And then I planted it then. I had no idea that you're supposed to plant. I didn't know anything about growing palms. I had no idea you're supposed to plant them, obviously give them a full growing season optimally. You shouldn't really plant past at least mid to late summer is the latest that I planted, that I recommend planting at least. And I planted these palms in December when I first got them. So that palm already had no time to get established. Made it through the winter fine, didn't spear pull, but it did have a bit of damage, I think. And it just really struggled. It was really stunted. And it's basically been the exact same size since I planted it over the last 2 years. So not optimal, but yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna do a live stream for a little bit. I hope it's so weird. So I got a call right after I started the first live stream. So I took the call, and then the stream didn't really end. So I went on my YouTube channel, and the stream wasn't over, but just kept sort of replaying the beginning of it. So hopefully that live stream has officially ended, and hopefully this one's working well for you guys. Looks like there's one or two people in there. So yeah, if you guys are in there, let me know what's going on. And yeah, I always love to hear what the weather is where you guys are. As I always say, I always heard when I first got into palms, when I first started learning, I was obsessed with palms. I'm insanely obsessed with palms. I think I have a problem, but it's a good problem to have. But when I first got into palms, I heard people talking about the weather and saying they were weather obsessed. All these palm people saying how much they're into the weather, how much they follow the weather. And I get that, weather is important to follow, but I was like, why are people so obsessed about the weather? And now, a few years later, now that I've gotten into it, I'm like a weather nut. I am just obsessed with weather. I follow the weather like every day in every city. I'm not just DC. DC makes sense, obviously, for the cold, but I have like 6 different cities or 7 cities on my weather app that I follow. I have LA, Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is just to me, it's a fascinating climate, Albuquerque. So I have that. I have, where else? Miami Beach, because, they can get some cold spells in there, like in the 40s every now and then. So I just find it fascinating. Love weather. Hey, Palm Tree Dude, great to see you in there. I'll tell you, I'm going to wait maybe until a few more people get in here, but I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you now, actually. So I'm here. It's a kind of funny story, but so we were here in Georgetown. We just taking a walk around. I was with my dad. My dad had to go home, so I'm just here by myself now. And I'm going to probably walk to the Metro at the end, take the Metro home. This is not too far from my house, but so this hotel, it's a very nice hotel, the Four Seasons. This is where we heard that comedian Jerry Seinfeld was staying here, so we came down to try to see if we can find him. We haven't seen him yet, but we actually saw his comedy routine last night. It was really funny. You know, obviously he's insanely famous, and he has another routine tonight at 7. So presumably I'm hoping to catch him before he goes out, get a picture with him. I don't want to be one of those people that's so annoying to celebrities, because I can only imagine how many people ask to take pictures of them, but I'd love to just see him. And these people have gathered here. They've not given me much information, but I asked one of them, and apparently there's I don't know if they're there for it, but apparently there's also an NBA team staying here. So I'm just doing the Hollywood thing, stargazing, I guess you could call it, waiting for the celebrities. But otherwise, I'm just here in Georgetown. It's a nice area, so I like walking around here. I like looking at all the plants, and I actually am going to go show you guys one of the monkey puzzle trees near here. No palm, as I was saying in the beginning, no palms in this immediate vicinity, but at the metro station, there's some in that area. DuPont Circle, there's like probably 8 or 10 different houses with palms there, and then there's a monkey puzzle tree probably half mile away, which I'm going to head to very shortly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm actually still here. I'm probably start heading over there because I want to get back here before like 5:30 to complete exactly what I told you. Yeah, palm tree dude, it's kind of not what I usually do. I'm not usually following celebrities like religiously, but right now I thought I'd just, it's a fun thing to do to kill some time. And who knows, maybe I'll see him. I've not seen many, I've not had great luck with this in the past, seeing celebrities, but I have seen, I'm trying to think who I've seen. I don't know what like celebrities I've seen. I don't think anyone, but yeah. But yeah, palm tree dude, how's the weather in there, by the way? I saw that at least Richmond was getting in the 70s. We got to probably, the highest we hit here in these areas, probably 60, 68 maybe. A few days ago, I saw Richmond was like in the 70s, so it looks beautiful down there. I know your college, where you go to college, is up in the mountains, so I'm assuming it's a bit cooler there, but I bet the weather's been nice. And hey, Rodell or Orlanata, how's it going? 3 NSH. How's the weather where you are? Where are you located, by the way? Sorry, crosswalk here. Just gonna run across here. Let's head up here. So yeah, Georgetown's cool. DC's got some cool neighborhoods around it. I just figured I'd do a live stream. If I'm already here, why not? I love doing live streams, as you may know. Yeah, Richmond was warm the past few days. Sorry, Richmond was warm the past few days. Warm here too, but not as much. Yeah. I'd assume that some of that, you probably got a bit of an urban heat island in Richmond. With all the buildings there. Richmond's cool. There's some huge trackies there. I've always heard, someone was telling me that a while ago they thought Richmond was the same climate zone as DC, but Richmond's definitely probably half a zone warmer, at least. It is warm. It's not only warm there, the averages are obviously higher, but there's huge trackies all around. Huge trackies are a bit, harder to come by here. Richmond, it seems like there's a lot of them. I saw like 3 just taking one walk. I saw 3 different trackies, 2 of which were huge. So they seem to be pretty bulletproof there. Whereas here, it's a mixed results. Again, average winter here, as I always say, they'll be fine. But those bad winters can definitely take them out. And again, DC, more so than Richmond, actually, is a land of microclimates. Richmond's not very hilly. Maybe they have some hills, but actually they do have some hills, I remember. But DC is very hilly. The highest point of DC is 400 feet. 410 feet actually, which may not seem like crazy, but especially considering we're right near the coastal plain, 410 feet's a good deal up. Considering how small DC is, like right in DC, which is a tiny little area, there's 410 feet. You can see right here, there's a hill. So just driving from my house down to the waterfront, you go down like, close to 400 feet, and you have to go up a huge hill, then down a huge hill, and you just see all the microclimates. I bet, I bet there's areas where trackies are, almost bulletproof here. There's certain areas where they just survive all those Arctic blasts, and certain areas where they just always get knocked out. So we are in a land of microclimates here, which you got to realize. I didn't exactly understand microclimates when I first got into palm growing. I always thought it was a bit overblown. I didn't think that necessarily. I just didn't know. I was like, is it really possible to have, a tiny, 1 or 2 degrees make a huge difference? But I didn't realize just how impactful a microclimate can be. Let's head over here. Where am I trying to go? I think I gotta go get a few blocks over, then head up. Today it's cool, only 51 here. Yeah, that's It's not bad. Yeah, again, unfortunately, our weather seems to keep repeating every week, where you got 5 days of warm weather and 2 days of cold weather. Unfortunately, the 2 days of cold weather, like the past three weekends or 2 weekends, and then next weekend too, it always keeps falling on the weekend. But yeah, high of here is about 50 today. It's right around 40, 49 right now. Starting to get a little colder because the sun's going down, but nothing too bad. I mean, I'm not complaining. Even though it was like, almost 70 the other day, this honestly isn't bad at all. And it's, not rainy or anything, which I can't complain. It was probably about average for this time of year right now. I think probably 49 is probably average for this time of year. Average in January is 45, I think, in DC. Maybe 46 in like downtown. And then February, I'm assuming, I actually don't know what it is, probably 47, maybe a little lower, but our averages have definitely been higher this year, despite the Arctic blast, just considering how much warm weather we've gotten. Beautiful southern magnolia there. Again, these are everywhere here. This is a beautiful old colonial neighborhood here. Georgetown's awesome. There's probably some areas like this in Richmond. I know there's a lot of the townhouses, which look a lot like DC. I've only been to Richmond once, but it's a neat little. It's a big city, but it's a neat place. I like it a lot. Look at these old houses here. Beautiful. Sorry, let me get your comments, Palm Tree Dude. In the heart of Richmond, it can get. Urban Heat Island really gives. I bet it does. Yeah, and even towards the outskirts, I know there's some big windmill palms, so it's a neat place. I would definitely try a palmetto if I were there. Seems like a good climate for zone pushing. Sable palmetto, definitely better than here. Although the advantage of the DC area is that even you drive 30, 45 minutes, you're on the Chesapeake Bay, so that's a really good microclimate. There's big palmettos out there that this one guy is growing, I know of. Look at these beautiful houses. This is prime real estate, folks. This is not cheap, but look at this. There's a lot of these. People think magnolias are terrible against houses, but if they're pruned up right, they can grow really well right against a house. This one's like, wow, old and abandoned, but beautiful, beautiful old homes here. Look at that place there. That little, really neat, really neat. But I was gonna go to the Ritz-Carlton what's it called? The Four Seasons to wait for the see if there's anyone famous there, but I don't exactly know if I'm dressed with it. I have like a hoodie on, so I don't think I look like their normal clientele, but who knows? I went in to go to the bathroom there, and they permitted it, so maybe I'll head in, do a little sneaking around. I'm good at that, if nothing else. Let's see. Yeah, beautiful old homes here. I'm gonna actually try to get over here a few blocks. Sorry, Palm Tree Dude. I said I am gonna get your comments. I just want to. This is how I am with my YouTube comments too. I always say I'm gonna get to them, and then, time just passes me by. I'm like, at least a month behind on comments now. If I spend like a few hours, I can probably catch up to them, and I have more motivation to respond to my comments than I do to do my homework usually. So. No, I try to do my homework, but obviously I need to catch up on the comments because I'm way behind, and unfortunately, it discourages people from commenting on their comments. And people say, so I always want to respond to my comments. But yeah, and speaking of that, I'm going to read what you guys have to say. Yeah, I bet snow melts pretty fast, because it's funny, the one time I was in Richmond, it was actually really cold and snowy. They had more snow than here, actually. It was like, because it's further inland than DC. I mean, DC's probably, maybe they're the same amount inland, but DC's close to the Chesapeake Bay. We're not close to the actual ocean. Chesapeake Bay moderates things a lot, though. And, yeah, I mean, it was actually really snowy there, and the trackies that I got a video of there, where all the fronds were way down by the snow. It was really cool to see, actually, which doesn't harm them again. Yeah, I bet it melts really fast there because it warms up a lot too. You get that inland heat as well. Right in the center of Richmond, along the follow line, besides the James River, surprisingly hilly. Oh, really? Interesting. So maybe I'm wrong then. Yeah, because I went to I think it's called Hollywood Cemetery, the cemetery in Richmond, just to see some of the different. I don't know. There's like a nice walk through there. So huge magnolias, of course. And it was right on the river, but it was actually very hilly now that I'm thinking of it. So yeah, there probably are some good hills there. Fall line. Sorry, more than like 1/3 radius. Got it. Yeah. No, I mean there are some big hills that I remember right near the water, near the river. Well, I'm actually procrastinating to finish my physics lab. I have lots of experience with that. I have actually today is like one of the more productive days I've had. I had a history assignment, and I actually got it done. What street is that? Oh, is it Wisconsin? I'm gonna head up here. Oh, because I am sorry, I actually am. I think this is the right street. Wisconsin is actually the street that my house is off of. If you go all the way up north into Maryland, there's streets named after every state in DC, which is interesting. There's Hawaii Avenue, Alaska, Pennsylvania is where the White House is, New York, and then every state, other state as well. So it's an interesting fact. And then you got the number system. Like this is O and 31st Street. So DC is very well organized. You got the grid pattern. Although it is confusing because you got O Street. There's two O. I think there's two 31st Streets. I think there's 31st Street Northwest, 31st Street Northeast. I think I don't know. There's like different. The different quadrants of DC. DC actually isn't divided evenly. The quadrants actually all meet in the center of the Capitol. So anything north and east of the Capitol buildings, northeast DC, and so forth. So an interesting fact. By the way, look at the huge Dawn Redwood there. Huge. You can see still got some of the needles on there. Massive. There's like 3 of them there. And then huge Southern Magnolia. Beautiful architecture as well. Huge Southern Magnolia down there. Everywhere here. Some nice broadleaf evergreens. These old neighborhoods especially. Look at how beautiful this is. Beautiful federal architecture, federal style, I think it's called. Hey, Jared Galka, thanks for joining in. How hardy are the Southern Magnolias? Do you think they could? Yes, definitely Zone 7. Fully hardy, I would say, in Zone 6. They thrive in Zone 7, but they also thrive in Zone 6. If you go to Cincinnati, Ohio, I actually have videos of magnolias there. Huge, and especially at the Spring Grove Cemetery, there's huge, like 80-foot magnolias there. Been there for 100 years or something through every freeze. Zone 6, I'd say they're fully hardy. I have a video of one near Columbus, Ohio, which is probably more Zone 6A, maybe even 5B microclimates. I don't know. I mean, I'd say they definitely can be grown there. I know people growing them. There's a guy in Niagara Falls, New York, who is growing one that I think that's got to be like Zone 5A or something. Maybe Zone 6. I think it's probably Zone 5B maybe. But he's growing one, so I'd say reliably hardy in Zone 6 definitely. So that is awesome. Yeah, and again, they look just like something out of the tropics, but they're so hardy. Really, really incredible trees. I am just in love with this thing. We have one of these in the backyard, and I don't even know what it is. I'm sad to say, some sort of holly. It's got those lighter green leaves. The native ones have darker green leaves, I think. Sorry. Oh, I see you're in Banana. Oh yes, Lemming Hater. Yes, I remember seeing you on Banana Joe's live stream. Yes, I got my own YouTube channel as well, Palm Planet, and I do live streams a lot. So yeah, I always love to see new people in there. That's awesome. Thanks for joining in. And you can see beautiful homes there with the huge Southern Magnolias here, just massive. And again, the fact that they're evergreen is just so nice. They really just add a lot of beautiful, vibrancy and color in winter, which is really nice. It might be laurels of some sort. Beautiful broadleaf evergreens, holly, and then more holly. Actually, this might be English ivy, and this is the native holly, I think, American holly. More sort of like leathery, shiny leaves. They have like a waxy sort of characteristic to them. This is a cool area if it's open. Tudor Place. It's like the 1700s home here. This is like a prime real estate. Look at the size of these homes here. Nuts. Georgetown's a really cool area. Hello, Pudge Gaming. Great to see you on here. How's everything? So you guys, Pudge Gaming, Lemming Hater, remind me of your locations again, and all you guys. I'd love to know and if you grow any palms, let me know. Also, again, I was saying I'd love to know the weather. So yeah, let me know how things are where you guys are. Sorry, my finger's in the way there. I got my Agave Americana today, a pup. That's awesome. I bet they do. I'll talk about that in a second. I have more to say on Agave Americana. Great species, and I bet it does well where you are. Because when you're in Virginia Beach, they're everywhere. Here, there's a few of them. I bet they're great for you. That's awesome. I really want to get one. Hey, Donnie Kleinow, great to see you in here. I have 7 Southern Magnolias and I'm Zone 6. Yes, Donnie, I remember you on my other live stream. Yes, so there you go. Michigan, they are great hardy trees. So that just blows my mind. They're so tropical looking, and yet they grow, way up north. I know people growing them even in Ontario. There's some pretty good sized ones actually. They're so hardy. This is I'm pretty sure this is a Douglas fir, which is potentially the tallest tree in the world. The species, because the redwood is now recognized, the coast redwood is recognized as the tallest, but there was one that was logged in Washington State, a Douglas fir that was measured at, I think, close to 400 feet, which is, or more than 400 feet, like considerably taller than the tallest redwood. But again, that was never verified. And there were also redwoods that were measured that were taller, but unfortunately logging has displaced a lot of that. So we'll never really know. But one of the tallest trees in the world, officially like the second tallest or third tallest, native to from California up to Alaska, I think. Oh, it's closed. This is a beautiful old house. Look at this place. It's Southern Magnolia heaven in here. Huge Southern Magnolias. Look at that. Tudor Place it's called. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I think that might be is that a giant sequoia? I can't quite tell. Some sort of conifer there. Hi. So yeah, how big are your Southern Magnolias, Donnie? How long have you had them for? Do they get damaged in like the freezes up there? I mean, if you're in Zone 6A, they probably would be pretty hardy, but I wonder if they get any damage on them during the freezes. Because they are tough trees, no doubt. Huge ones here. Let's cross the street. This, I don't know why, but this apartment building always reminds me of like Hollywood. Because if you go down like Hollywood, what's it called? Sunset Boulevard in LA, in the Hollywood area, they have tons of these old apartment buildings with the Spanish tiles that look just like this for some reason. But it's a beautiful old building. Georgetown's really cool. Prime real estate here. Hey, Southwest Island Rainforest, Dara O'Connell, great to see you in here, my friend. One is huge and they stay evergreen. That's awesome. Oh, by Toledo. So yeah, that's probably like the mildest place in all of Michigan. There's some milder places, I'd say, in southern Michigan. That is awesome. And you said you grow needle palm and sable minor, right? Again, probably with minimal protection there. If you know, they could probably grow with no protection there some years at least. That is awesome. It's 8 degrees Celsius in Ireland. It's 10 p.m. That's awesome. I'm trying to think. So it's 49 Fahrenheit here. So that's probably around 8 Celsius, right? Maybe it's a little more. Maybe it's 10 Celsius, 49. We're probably slightly warmer than that. Probably not too far from that. That's awesome. Yeah, it is about, what time is it? 4:41 p.m. here. And high today of 50 Fahrenheit. It's been the 60s here. Beautiful weather. But a bit cooler today and then colder tomorrow. Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow, by the way. Yeah. New Jersey Zone 7A. Pudge Gaming, I think you told me that. I'm sorry. I have a bad memory for that kind of stuff, but I'm going to try to remember that. That is awesome. New Jersey, so yeah, there's a lot of, it's funny, every time I do a live stream, we get a lot of New Jersey people in there, which is awesome, because I have family in New Jersey. So I also have family in Ohio, and I have reason to visit there because of my family, and every time I go, I find a new hardy palm there. In Asbury Park, where my family is, I found like 3 different palm locations there. So some nice hardy palms up there, which is awesome. And Cape May, which sort of sticks out into the Atlantic, really mild down there. You can probably even grow sable palmetto there marginally. Look at the size of this Southern Magnolia. Beasts. Huge. Beautiful buildings. Look at these houses, like Paris. Sorry, yeah, I almost... Wow, Wakefield. I think I know where Wakefield, Virginia is. I've heard of that. That is crazy. I bet you there's plenty in Southern Virginia, like probably Danville, Virginia, which is way inland. I bet there's some there. There's a Drake nursery in Danville, Virginia, which is like, it's in the middle of Virginia, right on the North Carolina border. Like, you know, in Piedmont somewhere. And there's big trackies at this one place there. You can look it up and you can find the location on Google Street View. Huge trackies there. It's really cool. I really want to see this place sometime. Palms in Appalachia. One is 20 feet and the other's, okay, that's awesome. 20 feet, yeah, that's like, probably like, yeah, I don't know, maybe a little smaller than that one, but yeah, there's 20 feet size magnolia. And again, they're pretty fast growing, which is nice, but I actually don't have one. I should get one. My property is so small. There's one right next to our house, which is awesome. Hey, we only hit 0 for an extreme low. They keep their leaves. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's... See, that actually isn't too bad where you are, because we hit like 7 degrees this year or something, or maybe a little 7 or 8. So 0 isn't actually too bad, you know, considering that you're way up there. But that is, yeah, that's impressive. Again, that just shows how tough they are. That's awesome. I have 2 sable minor McCurtains. Oh, you do? Awesome. Those are probably, yeah, one of the best ones you can get. It's probably the most famous one. They're nice and tough, which is awesome. Great palm for your climate. Do you protect it, Donnie? Do you protect your sable viner? And do you have a needle palm as well, or am I misremembering? You should definitely try one, because I think that'd be a really. I'm always fascinated. I was really fascinated about those areas of Michigan that are mild, like where you are, how those hardy palms would do there. So this is fascinating to me. Love it, absolutely love it. Pushing the limits, I love it. I ran a 5-kilometer race today. Ran it under 19 minutes. Wow, that's awesome, Derek. 12th overall. That's incredible. Derek is a runner, and he's done a lot of half marathons, which is really impressive. That's amazing. 19 minutes for 5. Wow, that's crazy. So that's like averaging, what is that, like a 6-something mile time. That's crazy, Derek. Congratulations. That's awesome. I went to Danville last spring. Oh, so Palm Tree Dude, look up Danville, Virginia windmill palms or something, and you can find it, I think, even on Google Maps. I found it on Google Maps. I can send you the link if you want. There is a house there. They I guess, have a nursery, and they have like 15 huge windmill palms in their yard, and then the houses around them also have windmill palms. But it's like in the middle of like rural Danville, this neighborhood with like a few houses in it. It's crazy. They're big windmill palms there. So they seem pretty hardy there, which is awesome. Yeah, I've never been there, but it looks cool. I don't normally protect. That's awesome, Donnie. So yeah, that means that you're, again, just shows how tough they are, and it shows both how tough they are and also how mild that is for Michigan as well. I mean, Michigan, people think it's like, all just impossible to grow palms there, but you're proving them wrong. I love it. That's awesome. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm here at my destination. Should have showed this to you, but this is our beautiful monkey puzzle tree. Not mine, but this is one of our city's beautiful monkey puzzle. And there's another one probably about a mile away at the metro station where I'm going to head after this. But really nice and got a good size on it, good trunk. And yeah, look at this thing. Just beautiful after 2 freezes now. It's got a bit of brown. Some of these like inner, I don't even know what you call them, inner branches are brown, like that one you can see. But sorry, what was I going to say? But yeah, you can see, again, most of this foliage is nice and green. Just beautiful. I mean, really, really beautiful. And I love monkey puzzle trees. Love them so much. This thing has been here for years. And as I've shown you, there's one up north of the city that is about 6 feet, maybe 70. That has been there since the 1950s. So here in the city and anywhere in the DC area, they're fully hardy through any freeze. So they are tough trees and just stunning. I mean, this one's got a really nice shape on it. Someone I saw posted this on Facebook not too long ago. So, yeah, people are starting to learn that we can grow them here and that there are some nice ones around here. Again, about a mile away, there's another one that's probably a similar size, maybe a little smaller. But, again, if it looks this good after our worst freezes, just shows you they're fully hardy here. Beautiful specimen. Got a really nice trunk on it, too. Right on the corner here. This is by Dumbarton Oaks. That's Dumbarton Oaks right there. It's a beautiful property. Again, if you're into broadleaf evergreens, there's not much better than Dumbarton Oaks. I mean, every neighborhood's like this, but especially here, you can see all the huge hollies there. Again, I don't know if these might be English holly. Don't look like American holly, but that's a huge magnolia there. And then there's a huge grove. Those are right there. Are Atlas cedar, I think. Atlas or deodar cedar. Those cedars, there's another one there. They're from the like Lebanon. They're on the Lebanon flag. They're from that sort of area of far West Asia, which is really cool. They're just really beautiful species. It's like they got this sort of like bluish silver foliage. Really beautiful conifers. I'm a big conifer lover as well. People don't really associate conifers with palms, but there's plenty of tropical. I mean, again, monkey puzzle tree is a conifer, so they sure enough are. There are plenty of tropical conifers. There's a whole Facebook group about tropical conifers, so don't think that they're only like cold climate plants. There's plenty of them that grow. And also one of the coolest things to that interests me is that, especially like once you get south, there's like the cloud forests. Like once you get into Mexico and Guatemala and Central America, there's all these cloud forests, which are basically high elevation forests. It actually gets kind of cold there, even into like the 30s and stuff, and colder sometimes up in like the way up in the mountains in Mexico. Like Mexico City is up at 7,000 something feet, and then it's surrounded by these like giant volcanoes, and there's conifers everywhere there. Some of them grow into some of the warm climates. Some of them stay up like where it gets cooler. But the fact that there's like fir and other conifers up in Central America and into Mexico is really fascinating to me. Mexico, I think, has the most native pines of any country, which I would think would be the U.S., considering how big the U.S. is, and considering how much conifer habitat there is. But sure enough, it is actually Mexico. I don't think people would even associate pines with Mexico, but there are so many pines native there, mostly to higher elevation, but some of them definitely are warmer. anyways, yeah. Yes, did very well, given I'm not feeling... Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're not well, but yeah, that's an amazing time, 5K. I think I ran my best 5K ever was like 21 minutes or something, so, yeah, you definitely beating me, and that was when I was in my prime running, shape. I did track and cross country for a little while, but I am out of running shape, at least. I honestly have the story of everyone, but I always say that I want to start running again because it's good for me, but I have not gotten to this yet. But I'm going to actually sometime after school go for some runs. I hate running. I hate the exhaustion that comes with running, but it is just really great exercise. And honestly, there is a sort of a reward with it. It's really strange. I used to be like, why on earth would anyone ever run? Because I thought it was just so miserable. But now I'm starting to see the reason why. You know, it's great exercise and there is a reward with it. And especially the fact that you can go places pretty fast running, which is actually pretty neat. Yeah. Every like 5 seconds it's saying reconnect, and it keeps glitching. So hopefully it's all right. I'm sorry, guys. Internet connection is gone. Oh no. Gosh, okay, I'm gonna head down the hill. Maybe it's like the top of the hill there or something. It was better back here, so I'm gonna start heading this way back to where I came from. But yeah, God, I hope the beautiful monkey puzzle tree. Yes, that monkey puzzle tree is a prize. That is the first, for a long time, that was the only one I knew of in DC. And then I've, over the last year or two, slowly been finding more and more. Not at all common here. I really wish they were. Again, just like palms, they're not in any of the garden centers here at all. But I really wish they were. And if they were, again, I'm sure they'd be everywhere because people love them. They're beautiful. But that is a really nice one. And I've been there for clearly some time, probably at least 20 years is my guess. It's a good sized tree, probably around 30 feet. I just found the house on Google. There's a whole Palm website for... Yes, I know, exactly. There's a whole website. It's like, I don't know if you can actually order from them or if you have to go there, but I'd love to pay them a visit. Like, maybe you can go there and purchase some windmill palms. I bet they're cheap. But I know, it's crazy. Isn't that crazy, Palm Tree Dude? Danville is Zone 7B. Yeah, I know. It's like one of those places... Because, you know, DC obviously isn't... Windmill palms are even marginal here. So you'd think Danville, being so far inland, would be... would you know, make windmill palms be marginal there. And I looked at the house over the years. I think a few of the windmills have died over the years, but most of them, they don't seem to get any protection. Most of them just survive every year, even through those Arctic blasts. So I just, because it's so far south and it's probably not too high up elevation, you know, the windmills do well there. And again, it's hilly there, but it's not in like the mountains or anything. Really, really fascinating. Isn't that cool, Palm Tree Dude? Yep, running is very rewarding. Having wardrobe of running shirts. That's awesome, Derry. Yeah, you're clearly a very talented runner. That is awesome. That is awesome. Internet connection is... I hope the internet connection... Okay, I'm back. Pudge Gaming, thank you. I'm hope that no one was discouraged by that bad internet connection, because hopefully it's better now. Again, it's really weird. It's like there's internet spots where the internet just doesn't work for some reason. God, I'm talking like a mile a minute here. I always do this on live streams. I try to catch up on the comments, and I just talk really fast. But I hope you guys can hear me. I don't. You know, sometimes I don't enunciate very well. Maybe you can't hear me very well. But this is just another example. What's it called? This fence here. The outer edge of this fence is probably what, like 8 feet from the house, and you got a magnolia planted in here. So. Again, they won't grow into buildings. You can see the trunk actually leans outwards. They'll always grow away from the building, sort of like a palm a little bit. It's just like banyans. People think banyans just will destroy your building, but they're actually, the roots grow around foundations. They grow around stuff like this. And I bet you this driveway is not cracked at all. Yeah, look at this. Driveway is perfectly flat right next to the magnolia. So don't be discouraged to plant your magnolia if you have too small space. This just shows you perfectly. And I mean, look at that next to that building. Just absolutely beautiful. This is a 3-story house, by the way. That is huge, huge. Nuts. More magnolias here. Maybe I'll go to a different street. Let's see. I'll head over here, actually. Across. Some really neat plants over here. And again, as we go down, we're getting towards the river, so it just goes down in elevation. That is a huge magnolia there. My gosh, I'm actually gonna head here. Look at these beautiful buildings. Hey, Level Mooney, you're in Florida, right? I've seen you comment on my videos before. And I love Florida, by the way. So many great palms down there. Miami especially. I love Miami. And it's we actually drove home from Miami last time. Our flight was canceled, so it was a 16-hour drive. I would not usually recommend that, but I wouldn't recommend it in one day, I'd say, like what we did. I got back at 4 a.m., but it was totally worth it. And it was, I gotta say, it was the most discombobulating thing I've ever done, probably. Driving from the tropics to my house. That is just nuts, that you can actually drive from here to a tropical climate. In the tropics, it's a tropical climate. It's north of the tropic line, but it is still tropical. But yeah, that area is awesome. You think sable miner can grow in Indiana? Yes. There are, I know of them. There's sable miner growing in Evansville and in southern Indiana. I think probably Indianapolis, I'm guessing they're gonna be pretty marginal, but anywhere south of there, I'd say sort of southern Indiana. I mean, there's native bald cypress in Indiana. It is, there's definitely areas of 6B in Indiana. I'd say definitely. There are sable miner that have been growing for 20, 30 years in southern Indiana. So definitely. Are you in Indiana, Level Mooney? I'm scared it'll be a waste of money. I'm zone 5, leaning towards... Oh, okay, so you might be in central or northern Indiana. In that case, I'd say I would definitely try one, but that's definitely going to be more zone pushing. I'd say probably protect one young, but eventually plant it on a south-facing wall, just like, in front of the house on a south-facing wall. This isn't actually south-facing, but you know what I mean. On a south-facing wall, and just give it all the protection it can get, natural protection, like up against a wall, and then maybe put a little cover over it or something when it gets below, I don't know, when it gets below 0 or below 5 degrees. Again, they're really tough. They can definitely survive that, but I don't know what to say. I think I would definitely try one. I think it's a good experiment. I'll be doing a full marathon next year. That is awesome, Dara. Wow, 26.2 miles. Is that how long a marathon is? That's crazy. Almost 50 kilometers. That is crazy. I cannot wait to hear about that, Dara. I honestly, it's one of those things that I think I don't think I have the physical ability to do that, but it is a huge accomplishment. It's a huge honor, and I honestly wish I could do that, because it's one of those things that, you do, and it's a huge, it's a huge accomplishment, yeah. Really, really cool. This year I'm going to try camellia. Awesome. Camellia, I think, is a species that does well here. I'm not as familiar with that, but that's really cool. 45 kilometers. Got it. 45 kilometers. So in miles, I think that's 26.2 miles, because it's the distance who was it? Was it the distance they ran to marathon in the Battle of Marathon or something? It's some ancient Greek story behind it, which is interesting. The distance. And you can see daffodils starting to come up here. Mild. It's been so mild, and you can see that everything's starting to flower here. Look at these beautiful purple flowers. So it has been so mild. Daffodils everywhere here. They've been coming up for about probably 3 weeks here now. They're everywhere. My stepmom in Florida has a baby coconut that's massive. I've put pictures of it on Palm Talk. Oh, you have? I bet I've seen those pictures. I bet you. I look at every coconut thread I ever come across. I bet you I've seen those pictures. Is your name Level Mooney on Palm Talk? What's your Palm Talk username? Because I'll follow you on Palm Talk if you want. I follow all the people. You can click follow and sort of just, I don't know. I don't actually know what follow does, because it doesn't show me their content, but I guess it just shows your interest in that, because I'm very interested in coconut growing there. Florida's a baby coconut. As I put pictures on Palm Talk when I visit her. And yes, for sure, I'll definitely... Yeah, awesome. And if you want to, you can send me some pictures of that, because I will post any coconuts or anything like that if you want me to. Where in Florida? Because I know something that interests me is sort of the zone pushing aspect. Once you get into sort of central and northern Florida, people zone pushing with coconuts. That's very interesting. But where in Florida is that? Because I remember you telling me about that. Definitely be trying one now. Oh, yes. Wait, so are you in Indiana or are you in Florida? Because I remember you telling me about Florida, but I don't know. That's interesting. Yes. Nice humid summer. Oh, I think you were saying you'll try a stable miner. Yes. So you are in Indiana, I guess. But yes, absolutely. It is so humid there. Even into Ontario, into Canada, it gets really humid in summer. It is, it's crazy. Our summers here, average here is 90 degrees. It is, some would say it's brutal here in summer. I think it's hot. I can withstand it, but I was doing yard work last summer for people. That was my job. And I was working in 95, 96 degree days. 96 degrees and humid. That was brutal. You get there early. Early it's tolerable, but once you get in the middle of the day, I was sweating so much when I came back, and my shirt was covered in dirt and everything. It was miserable, but it was worth it. It was fun. And I got to plant some cacti for some people, so it was really fun. When I visit her, and yes, for sure, I'll definitely be trying one now. Camellias will do very well throughout the Mid-Atlantic. Yes. Awesome. Ryan Schiller, great to see you on here. That is a beautiful Mexican fan palm that you have, by the way, in the profile picture there. Looks like somewhere in California. Is that somewhere? Are you in California? Because that's awesome. Yeah, the palms of California are just unbelievable. I have 2 videos on my YouTube channel that you guys can check out of coconuts in California. So don't listen to what people say. Coconuts do grow in California. Sure, it's plenty, it may be, not the ideal climate for them, but people sort of have this idea that even those who accept that coconuts will grow there, people have this idea that they'll sort of barely make it look bad and then slowly wither away. That is really not the case. It honestly does surprise me because some areas of California are so cool in summer, like Santa Monica, for example, which is very far south in California. Only 2 months of the year does it get into the 70s, and it's like 70 degrees on the dot. The entire averages the whole year are in the 60s. It's a very stable climate, but it's just really cool. But even by the coast, I have a video of one where it stays so cool, and also in the desert too, that they do well. I think the best place for them of all is inland, is between the desert and the coast, where it gets hot, but not crazy hot and not crazy cool. But that said, there's plenty of big ones in the desert. Not plenty, but there's some, and some by the coast. So coconuts are growable in California. And again, this sort of notion that they'll just wither away and do really poorly because it's a marginal climate is really not true. There's some that look fantastic. The one I have the video of in Del Mar, not Del Mar. The one Del Mar looks really good, but the one especially, I think the best looking one is in Santa Ana, California, it's a good sized coconut. It's growing under some huge Norfolk Island pines overhead. It's probably about to the top of the frond. The fronds are huge, like 10, 15 feet. It's probably about a 20-foot palm, and it's got a curved trunk to it like this, and it is just beautiful. I mean, it looks perfect. The fronds look perfect. Yeah, feel free to check out my video on that because that is something that really interests me. But yeah, check this out. Beautiful southern magnolias here, and hollies as well. Laurel. I don't know what these other ones are, these little shrubs, but huge southern magnolias. There really does look like something out of the tropics. And this whole home and everything looks like something out of like, I don't know where, somewhere way south of here. But sure enough, this is DC. Beautiful old homes here. Again, just stunning. What time is it? 5:04. Okay. Start heading back a little bit. Yeah, that is yeah, God, I love it. Gosh, I love palms so much. I don't think I do have some sort of problem with palms, just in how much I love them. It's an addiction for sure, but it is. I always say it's a healthy addiction. There's much worse things to be addicted to, and I know all you guys are palm addicts too. Many of you, palm enthusiasts is the kind word, but I'd say I'm more of a palm addict. I'm an enthusiast, but I'm sort of more on the addicted side. I spend so much time researching about palms, and I always just, every time I see a palm, I get like a dopamine rush. Truly, it's actually true. Every time I spot a new palm around town, it's just the most exciting thing. And now I'm gathering a database. I have I created a Google My Maps, which is like where you can plot things. And I've plotted almost all the palms I've seen, and I'm trying to plot the rest of them now and sort of get a complete map of all the palms in the DC area. I'm going to upload pictures too. I might share that with you guys at some point once I complete it, where all the palms that I've ever filmed in DC are. Because I do keep the locations, and sometimes I'm sort of not as keen to share the location if it's someone's private yard, because obviously you don't want to share that. But sometimes I will share the public planting, because there's quite a few of those. Huge southern magnolias. This is a 3-story mansion here. This is crazy. Look at the size of this place. Nuts. Wonder who lives there. That's crazy. This place too, not bad. One of the it's an eastern hemlock here, native conifer, beautiful species. I was just in Florida for a month because of winter, and my God, they're blessed. Oh my gosh, yes. The winters are very humid, not like summer, but it's bad. Well, October, I go 3 times a year. I'm going back this October post to go. Yes. It is. I went there in March, and I got to tell you, the humidity is brutal. It was like 86 degrees. Like 86 isn't supposed to be that bad, but it was brutal, and I got a sunburn so bad that my arms, the entire arms peeled off. Like all the skin on my arms peeled off. Not all the skin, but the top layer of skin peeled off. It was brutal, but it was totally worth it in my opinion. Absolutely love it. But it is hot there. I'd say recommend going in like January or December. Yeah, it is rough there in the warm months, but again, it shows with the palms. Shows what likes the climate there. I think California, or that like Mediterranean climate, in my opinion, is the most comfortable climate for humans. But obviously, it's too cold for some palms. Definitely trying. And my stepmom lives in Indiantown, Florida. Interesting. It's in Park. It's inland here. Lake Okeechobee is really cool because it definitely stays a lot milder there, because it's such a big lake and it sort of moderates things. But it's interesting because even though it's so far south, it can get cold there, probably into the upper 30s, maybe low 40s, in like a really bad freeze. But that said, there's coconuts, there's royal palms there. Obviously, it's nice and mild. But that's really cool area. Yeah, Lake Okeechobee, I've never been there, but it looks beautiful. I'd love to see that area. Again, tropical climate, so it's like on the north side of the Everglades. Beautiful. It's one of the biggest lakes in the US, probably. It's huge. Look at these houses. God, beautiful. Just beautiful. Really, really nice. It's probably about 48 degrees right now is my guess. It's 49 when I started. Meat palm planted, the amount of times a day I look at my sago is concerned. Me too. Yes, exactly. Palm addicts. This is a place for palm addicts. I do not offer treatment here. This is not a place to treat palm addiction. This is a place to worsen your palm addiction by looking at some glorious palms. But no, it is a healthy addiction, truly. And yeah, absolutely. That's no, I totally get that. Yeah, it is really an addiction. And I look at my palms all the time. I've seen them. I've seen them before, but I cannot get enough of them. Every time I go outside and I go to my backyard, I just get excited seeing my garden, seeing how it grows slowly. But, over the summer it grows really fast, and seeing how the palms sort of fill in is really, really nice and so rewarding, Seeing them survive those winters is just awesome. Love it. And I have a sago too. I have a sago in a pot. It's a pretty marginal palm here, but I've heard of some surviving unprotected in some winter. Sometimes they'll die back and then grow back here in winter. They're sort of like almost like deciduous plants here. But a bad freeze will definitely kill them here. This is not a hardy climate for sago palms, but I do have one in a pot, and they're really neat looking. Even though they're not actually palms, they're cycads, but they look like palms a lot, and I love them. My stepmom thinks I'm crazy because every time I visit her, I go to her dwarf coconut and take pictures. It got down to 38. Wow. Oh, when you were there, my gosh, that's cold. Yeah, I saw the cold that got in Miami Beach this winter. I follow Miami Beach weather, which is again very mild, but I think it got down to 40, either the mid to low 40s this winter, which is cold. Again, not going to kill a coconut, but I would imagine it could damage like a lipstick palm. I know there are some there, but it's one of the least hardy palms. But it's interesting. Down to 38 when I was there at night. It's chilly. Yeah, that is cold. Have you thought about going into your horticulture? Ryan Schiller. So I have actually thought about going to horticulture. By the way, beautiful southern magnolia there. I have thought about it. So, as you may know, I am young, and I have not, I haven't really thought about too much about that yet, but I actually do hope to, if somehow I can make it work and make it, actually provide me with some income. Hopefully I can maybe make I would love to go into horticulture or botany. My dream is to sort of, I would love to start like a botanic garden or something, or work at one. And I actually just joined the horticulture club at my school. So I'm going to the next meeting, which is I think next Thursday. So my goal, yes, I'm very interested in it. And I'm part of the horticulture club at my school. And I my goal, sorry, I'm gonna put this down for a second, just to zip in my jacket. My goal is to, I want to plant some palms at my school and plant them around town. This spring is gonna be palm planting season. So this spring I am going actually try to get down to Virginia Beach, go to Pungo Palms. I'm going to bring a bunch of palms up here and plant them at the fire station, at the library. I'm going to try to plant palms all around my town. So palmify things here. And yes, I'm a palm addict, obviously, and I do hope to maybe pursue a job in horticulture or botany if I can make it work. Again, I don't know how much that pays. I don't know if that's actually worthwhile. My other interest is history, but in my opinion, it would be a great job. Personally, I think that'd be really cool. So yes. Hey, Jose Ramos, my good friend. There's someone else on here from New Jersey. I think it was Pudge Gaming. So great to see you on here. Jose here, palm addiction is a good thing. Hit me real hard. Yes, exactly. It hit me hard when I was like really young, but then in the last few years when I've actually started learning about different hardy palms and stuff, and now I am just fully addicted. Yes, it is an amazing thing. Love every moment, makes me happy. Me too, Jose, absolutely. And you've got some beautiful palms and exotic plants in your garden in New Jersey, which is a very similar climate to here. Just awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Great to see you on here. It did knock out my mom's neighbor. Oh, wow. Really? A queen palm dying that far south? That is, are you sure? You're sure it was just the cold? Because I could see maybe a coconut getting damaged there, but I couldn't imagine a queen getting knocked out that far south. Which is so odd. I thought, yeah, exactly. No, my guess is there's something else affecting it. I cannot imagine it ever. 38 degrees would never, ever knock out a queen palm. There are queen palms growing in London where it got down to the 20s this year. So there's no way that just cold would kill a queen palm like that. Adams, yes, Adams needle. I bet it might even be native there. We have native yucca even in Maryland, so I bet you there's lots of native yucca down there. There's native cacti. There's native trunking cacti in South Florida, which is fascinating too. There's probably like a dozen species or more of cacti native to Florida, and definitely some yucca. I bet you there's native yucca there too. But yeah, I got to imagine there's like some sort of, they can look really, queen palms especially can look pretty bad anywhere because they need nutrients, they need fertilizer, and they look really bad in Florida often, and they look really bad in California often. California, it has to do more with water and also nutrients, and then obviously Florida more is with the nutrients in the soil. I got to imagine there's something else going on with that palm. Even in Okeechobee, I got to imagine coconuts probably never even get damaged. Maybe in a bad freeze, but that is so far south. Even though it's inland, it is just so mild there. I cannot imagine that the cold knocked that thing out. But that's unfortunate to hear about. There are queen palms everywhere, though. Again, yeah, I mean, there are queen palms all the way up to, they're probably reliably hardy up into, maybe Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. But there's big queen palms in downtown Charleston, which is central South Carolina on the coast. Much, much, much colder in there than Okeechobee, like, 3 zones colder. So I cannot imagine it's just the cold, but that is unfortunate to hear about. By the way, beautiful post office here. Look at this building. Old stone post office. Beautiful. Great architecture here in Georgetown. Lots of beautiful old buildings here. Southern Magnolia heaven here. And Jose, by the way, there's no palms around here. The story is I'm actually waiting. There's some celebrities supposedly at one of these hotels, and I was just sort of stargazing, trying to see if I could spot anyone famous at one of the hotels down here. So that is why I am in Georgetown. Just sort of stuck around, and then I'm gonna probably walk to the metro after. But yeah, I am. I just went and visited one of the monkey puzzle trees up there. But right now I'm just sort of heading back down here. Beautiful. Look at this great area here. Georgetown's so cool, so popular. One of the most popular areas of DC. Yeah. Look at these buildings here. Beautiful old facades there. Be California, Canary Islands dates or something else. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, exactly. I heard that. The ones in New Orleans actually are like as big as California. Even though they get hurricanes there, they get cold there. They seem fully hardy there. And also there are big queen palms there too. But yes, the Canary Island date palms in New Orleans are actually like as big as the ones in California. It's hard to believe. It seems like the Washingtonia would get that big, but I think the Canary Island date palms are bigger there. At least the ones that I've seen, and they are huge, yes. And the ones in California are unbelievable, though. It's like the most, so stunning. It's the perfect climate for them, because it's Mediterranean, like where they're native. So, very cool. I'm gonna head down to the water here. But yeah, it's really, really neat. But California, yes. I can't wait for you to go to NOLA. NOLA, it's gonna be these popular vids. Oh my gosh, yeah, Zone 9 climate. So oh my god. So New Orleans and Charleston are probably the two of the top cities that and obviously, I I don't, I can't just travel anywhere, but if I could, I would definitely travel to New Orleans, and I hope to make it there sometime. It looks really cool. The palms are amazing. It looks, obviously it's subtropical. What I'm wondering about, and maybe you can tell me this, I know there were like tons of big queen palms there, but they also got the big Texas freeze that came down last year, or two years ago. Do you know if there are any, do the queen palms, did most of them make it through the freeze there? Because I did not see any updates on that. Did most queen palms die in the freeze of 2021, February 2021, or did most of them make it? Because that's what I'm wondering. But there are huge washies there. There are huge Phoenix canarensis, Livistona, sables, everything you can name. All the, sort of what I'd call, semi-hardy palms. I don't really know what to call them, but these sort of, hardier palms that won't survive here, but definitely survive there. It seems like a great climate, and yes, I really want to go there. There's some ducks down there. This is actually the C&O Canal, which runs through Georgetown. The river's like 2 blocks that way, and this canal actually goes 180 miles to like Western Maryland, to Cumberland, Maryland, and it is really cool. It's unfortunately empty most of the time because it hasn't been used in a while. But I biked like about 60 miles of it once in Western Maryland. It's beautiful out there. Cold, but it's beautiful. I think I actually was there in summer where it was really hot, but it's a cool canal all the way down there. Yeah. Yeah, but no, I honestly would love to go to New Orleans. I've never been to Louisiana. I've not been most places in the South. I've never been to, I've been to the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, which is sort of like the upland South. I've been to Columbia, South Carolina, and I drove from Miami to, to DC, and we stopped for dinner in Savannah, I think. Is it Savannah? Savannah, Georgia, I think. But again, we didn't really see much there. I got a video in like the parking lot there, but I never actually saw Savannah. So I guess I actually have been to Georgia, considering that I went to Savannah for dinner, but I haven't really seen much down there. And New Orleans, I've never been to. Texas, I've only been to West Texas, so I've not seen much of the palmy parts down there. So I would love to see that, absolutely. I have a friend down there, and he said his big queen, a lot of queens were unfortunately. Yeah, I bet a lot of ones were, because again, I mean, the freeze was worst in Texas probably, but it hit that area hard, definitely. Look at this area, really cool. It dried up, unfortunately, but yeah, I bet you there's like tons of Civil War artifacts and stuff down there. If you went like metal detecting and stuff, because this canal's ancient. I bet there's tons of stuff that fell in over the years. The canal's built in like probably 1830s or something. Long time ago. And these huge southern magnolias here. This is, I guess, what it looks like when it's full. I don't know if that's actually a picture. It doesn't look like it, but maybe it is. I don't know. But you can see the canal does have water in it sometimes. But it's cool. All right, guys. I'm going to have to sign off soon. But yeah, let me see what you guys have to say. I have a friend down there, and he said his big queen... Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, and again, it's like what happened in Texas. There were palms that have been growing there for 100 years, unprotected. Probably never even got damaged. Maybe in like a bad freeze, but the one in Texas was obviously a historic freeze, like an unbelievably bad freeze. I mean, the fact that Washingtonia robusta died in Houston blows my mind. There are royal palms growing in South Houston and Galveston, and Washingtonia died there. It shouldn't happen, but that just shows you how unstable the climate can be every now and then with those bad freezes. And that freeze is extreme. That's nuts. But yeah, look at these southern magnolias. These things are beasts. These are probably easily 70 years old, probably. Huge. Yeah. But I'm glad to hear your friends survive. It's like the Texas freeze. There are like, 60-foot Washingtonia foliifera that survived in Dallas, and maybe even a few hybrids, but most of them got knocked out. And then, the hardy ones survived, but it just sucks. Yeah, those freezes suck. And that's what I hate about the East Coast is those bad freezes. Again, we should be able to grow trackies fully hardy here, but those bad freezes, unfortunately, make that not the case. Again, our winters generally are so mild, but those bad freezes, they do suck, but it also makes things interesting, in terms of what we can grow here. And in terms of what can survive, the SC Botanic Garden had Clemson had a fantastic Chihuahuan desert. Wow, that's crazy. I saw there was a, I don't know if it was there or at the zoo there, but in Columbia, there was a, it was Clemson in Columbia, or is it in upstate South Carolina? Because I know there's big Washingtonia there. I have a video of like 4 or 5 like 40-foot Washingtonia, 50-foot in Columbia. Columbia is almost like a climatic anomaly. I would think that Washingtonia would get knocked out there because it's inland and pretty far north, but Washingtonia seemed fully hardy there. There's Folifera, Filibusta, and Robusta, huge Robusta there. And yeah, I saw that there was, at the zoo in Columbia, I think there was a huge Mazzari palm, which is generally a palm that doesn't love wet climates, but a very hardy palm. I had one that died, unfortunately, because it was in too wet soil. My other one just died recently, but I only had one, but it died. But as I was trying to say, again, it just, yeah, that's just crazy. That's really cool. I would love to see that. Are there like Brahia and stuff, or like some of those palms? Dufran's here. Dufran's to you. Hey, great to see you. Dufran's, my friend, good to see you. How's everything going? Where are you located again? Love the dedicated uploads lately. Oh, thank you. And I what I try to do now is I went to the Botanic Garden, I think last weekend. I took like 10 videos, and now I just upload them day by day, just sort of space them out a little bit, but still, I try to get them in there. And yes, my goal is to upload every single day. There's been some periods where I don't do that, but I'd say generally I upload every day. And lately, for like the last probably few months, I've uploaded every single day. So that is always my goal. And sometimes I get a few videos in a day. Today, I think I'm going to upload another one tonight, so stay tuned. Probably from the Botanic Garden. I got a few sort of just waiting to be uploaded, but I really appreciate that. Thank you, Dufran's. Advice, sorry, let me sit down in the grass here. What was I going to say? Keep a steady hand when you pan. Yes. No, I know, especially you're probably watching a live stream, seeing the camera shaking like crazy, because unfortunately it can do that. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I want to get like a selfie stick actually for my live streams, because I bet that would make things more stable, but and keep things steady. Yeah, I know my zoom in at times. The sound muffles. I got it. Thank you. Yes, and I appreciate that. And I always, if you guys have any advice to make my videos better, I really do always appreciate that, because I've gotten so much advice from viewers about palms, about how to, improve video quality and stuff. So yes, I'm going to try to be more steady with my hand, but absolutely. Thank you. Be well. That looks insane. I have to plan a trip to DC. Yeah. You definitely have to go to DC. I think a lot of people should, because obviously it's a crazy cool city. There's so many cool neighborhoods, so many new neighborhoods being built and stuff. But yeah, no, the Southern Magnolias here are nuts. Let me just sort of sit pointing towards them. Nuts. And as you know, there's 30-foot trackies here. So there's palms everywhere in DC. Not everywhere, but there are lots of palms in DC. I'd say in every neighborhood, there's at least some palm that I know of. Definitely have to come to DC. Clemson is upstate. Columbia has some great Washingtonias. Yes, absolutely. And I think it was actually at Clemson, there was a Washingtonia hybrid, maybe Filibusta, in the garden there. Yeah, it seems mild up there. Upstate South Carolina is mild. That is awesome. Yes, Columbia's got easily 40, 50-foot washies. Do they good South Carolina? Do they do good down there? Yeah, so Washingtonia definitely do well in South Carolina. And Southern Magnolia, by the way, is native to South Carolina. So, yeah, that's really cool. It's a cool state. I've only been there once, but it's really neat and mild. We'll drop in chat when you're working during. Awesome, Dufran's. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to try doing more live streams in the future. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Do they Southern North Carolina? Oh, you're in Southern North Carolina. That is such a cool climate. So are you in the Outer Banks, or are you in like Atlantic Beach, Wilmington area? Because that area I know has some huge washies, like really big. And again, the freezes can get them there. I'd say the Outer Banks is probably the mildest area in South Carolina. There's even Canary Island date palms there. But Southern North Carolina too also has some big washies, some Phoenix canariensis as well. So it is definitely mild there. But that is awesome. Mazzari palms make great potted palms. Terracotta pot is best in extremely well-draining soil. Yes. And you know what? People do grow them in these humid climates. They actually don't mind it if they're draining well. Terracotta pot is best. Yes. So I actually am trying to try some in the ground here. I know a guy in Pennsylvania who actually grew one and has survived fine in the winters there. So it should be pretty hardy here, even with the dry. I'm going to try to put like maybe a tarp over it, or a cover just to keep the water out. But yeah, I'm going to probably just plant it in the sand or something. That was the problem with my other one. I thought I wasn't watering it enough maybe, but the soil was so wet and it looked like it was declining, and then I took it out of the pot to repot it like a few days ago, and the whole bottom was mush. It was dead. Really sucks because they're so rare, but the guy at Pungo Palms had some, so I'm going to try to buy some more. Terracotta pot is best. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna plant them in literal sand, I think. You really want to make that soil as well draining as you can in these wet climates. Especially like with winters. But yeah, other than that, Piedmont west of Charlotte. Got it. That's awesome. That's awesome. What a cool climate. So you're west of Charlotte. So I know I forget the town, but there's some towns like I think halfway between Charlotte and Asheville that has big palmettos, and they've got some Camerops, I think, maybe some other sables and stuff, and Butia maybe. So it is definitely mild out there. North Carolina is such a cool state. I've been to the Smoky Mountains. I've only been on the Tennessee side, but it is so beautiful there. It's actually a temperate rainforest. Believe it or not, there is temperate rainforest in North Carolina, and it's not by the coast. It's actually in the mountains. It's so beautiful there. And then the coast just looks beautiful also. I've never been to the North Carolina coast, but it looks gorgeous. I did drive through Charlotte, which is beautiful. Great potted palms. Use a gritty mixture, not pure sand. Mixing some, got it, yes, absolutely. So I actually did get a bucket of sort of sandy soil from the creek near my house. And the creek has like, big, some like pebbles and stuff like that, and also some sand, some sort of soil mixed in with it. So yes, that is absolutely what I'm going to use, mixing some soil. Yes, absolutely, we'll do that. A bit of peat, interesting, yes, we'll do that. That's awesome. I've been to North Carolina, but I was at the airport when I went, so not really. Yeah, but they had orange dirt, or so my dad says. It's orange clay. Interesting, yeah, I mean, so if you dig into our soil here, it is... it's orangish. It's sort of like, it's not like red like in Utah or something, reddish orange, but it's got like a sort of like a brownish orange color from the clay. So that absolutely seems to be the case. Was he like digging in the soil, or was there like some visible soil there? Because usually you can't really see it from ground level. Usually it just looks sort of this grayish brown color, but sometimes you will have the if you dig down, it certainly does look orangish. It's the case here. It's very heavily clay soil. Yeah, very interesting. But yeah, what was I don't even know what I was gonna say. Yeah, sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, I'm probably not in the live stream soon and head back. But it's been great talking to you guys as always. Love doing live streams. This is sort of just an on the spur of the moment live stream. I just decided, why not? I'm down here, so unfortunately no palms in this immediate area. But yeah, I've been in North Carolina, but I was at the airport. Growing many palms here. Sable palmetto. That is awesome. And do you protect any of them? I'm interested about the washi, because that's the guy, Palms Are Cool, posted some big 30-foot washies near Charlotte, which really surprised me. I guess it's not that far from Columbia, but it's still colder. But do you protect your Robusta? Because I wonder, I would think it would get damaged in this like latest freeze. But that said, there's some big Robustas unprotected in Charlotte, near Charlotte. So that is really, like, right on the border. There's some big ones. Camerops, Humulus, Trachys. That is awesome. So many great palms you can grow down there. And you guys get so much heat, just like us. Even more. When we were landing, you could see it look like a play, looking in playing eyesight. And I was like, interesting. That's surprising. I did not notice that when I was driving through. But that is fascinating. I actually remember driving through. And I hadn't seen it. So actually we stopped at, I think, Duke University, just to like check out the campus and stuff. And when we drove through that town, I think is it in Raleigh or Chapel Hill? I don't know where it is, but Duke in like northern North Carolina, we stopped there, and I saw a small trachea in a yard, and I bet there's tons of tracheas around and a few palmettos. But eventually, when we drove through Charlotte, the first big palms I saw, we drove past a warehouse that had a whole row of like, probably like 20 or 30 big tracheas. They look gorgeous. I couldn't get a video of them because we were going so fast on the highway. And then I saw a hotel that had other big tracheas and maybe even some palmettos. And then as soon as we crossed the border into South Carolina, like 5 minutes from Charlotte, we stopped at a gas station and there were some huge palmettos, and I was in heaven. That trip was amazing for me because that was that was probably one of the early trips since my YouTube channel that I'd actually like driven anywhere palmy. I don't even think I'd been to Virginia Beach at that point. Hey, Insect Wildlife, great to see you on here. How's it going? Unfortunately, I'm just about to end the live stream, but yeah, I'm gonna stick around for a few more minutes. Just hope you're doing well. Palms Are Cool said they got burnt. Oh, I bet they did. So I saw his update videos, and the ones that he had got burnt really bad. I don't know about the 30-foot ones. I'm guessing got pretty badly burnt too. The Phoenix canariensis, interestingly, one of them looked pretty good, and none of them had spear pull. But I bet they'll get pretty. Yeah, they'll probably get defoliated. But looks like most of them will make it, which is a good thing, because That is zone pushing at its finest right there. A really cool climate around that area. Yeah, they definitely got some damage. I know there's a Washingtonia in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is sort of like inland southern North Carolina. It's about 30 feet. It's been there for years, unprotected in an open spot, and people like get seed from that palm because it's so famous. It's in a pretty colder spot, and it got decently burnt this past winter. Probably over half of its fronds has had a good amount of damage on it, but it's definitely going to make it. Some of the ones in the UK also got damaged, but it's just amazing how mild it is there. The fact that Washingtonia robusta and Phoenix canariensis are foolproof in a good portion of the UK, and the fact that there are king palms and queen palms growing unprotected in the UK blows my mind. That is like north of anywhere in the entire continental US, I think. Or at least, far north of us. London's like 51 or 52 degrees north latitude. We're here at 39 degrees north latitude, and we are like 3 zones colder than them, so it just blows my mind. But yeah, beautiful southern magnolia here in the falling sunlight, fading sunlight. And you can see all these, I don't know what you call these, like cones, seed pods that fall from the magnolia. And this is the first one I've actually seen daffodil in bloom. But you can see them coming up everywhere just because of how mild it's been. They know it's spring. Early February, daffodil in bloom. Isn't that nuts? Crazy. It's amazing. Just shows how mild it's been. Again, I had the crocuses come up in my yard the other day, and they usually come up probably late February the past few years, but now early February. So, they're probably coming up in like Christmas soon or something like that. Late December, January. Probably not, but they definitely may be coming up in January soon enough. But yeah, really cool area around here. I'm gonna probably take one more block here on the canal, and yeah, neat area. What a cool area. Love Georgetown. The thing about these is, I gotta imagine there's someone who wanders here drunk and then falls off the edge here. If you fall off this edge, that's a good, probably like a 20-foot drop there. That can you could seriously break your leg if you just stumble off that. You can get really hurt. I can't believe that it's such a heavily, walked area that they don't have any guardrails or stuff. But yeah, that's a huge drop off. There's some nice parks along here, though. A lot of these are like old. This is a newer building, but a lot of these ones are like old warehouses or whatever that's been transformed into like offices and restaurants and stuff. It's a cool. Georgetown's very vibrant. I highly recommend it if you come here. And then this is sort of the edge where you go from Georgetown with all the old architecture, and then over there, that is Foggy Bottom, and sort of getting towards downtown. We're like probably 1 or 2 miles from the Washington Monument and the Capitol and the White House, so we are very close here. It's neat. Yeah, that's the cool thing about DC is it's very compact. The suburbs are really sprawling, but once you get into the city, Georgetown, Capitol Hill, Adams Morgan, where I was earlier today, all the areas are really pretty close together, and the metro is great. So yeah, that's Foggy Bottom over there. That's called Rock Creek Park. It's really, really narrow here, but it gets really wide later on upstream on Rock Creek, and that's basically that's our Central Park, but it's 4 times the size of Central Park, or 5. It's huge. Rock Creek Park. Gotta love that. Yeah, DC's cool. Eventually I won't move away from here, I'm sure, but it's sad. Our dispatcher asked me who the pilots are. Sorry guys. Look up North Carolina red dirt, I'll show you. Really? It's like a place? I will look up that, North Carolina red dirt. Because I'm used to when you drive through Utah, the soil's orange red, bright, like these stones here, like these bricks. But I'm surprised to hear that. It's interesting. I know Oklahoma, interestingly, has some really red soil near Oklahoma City. You can see it from satellite view on Google Maps. But I'm absolutely gonna look that up. That's very interesting. It'll show you a map. Interesting. Oh yeah, mine survived the polar vortex, covered with a chicken wire. That's it. Wow. Too much cold. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure that would damage it, but definitely still living, that is awesome. Recommend the same for you. Recommend the same for your palms. Yes, that's a good way to wrap them. Definitely. And next year I may actually, because I got spear pull on my 2 smallest palms. Same happened last year, and they recovered. They may recover this year, hopefully. I'm really hoping, but you never know, and you do want to be careful. Oh wow, there's a whole crowd gathering outside of the hotel here now. Oh, this is the hotel here, sorry. I guess there's not as many people as I thought. I guess no one, huh? How interesting. All right, folks, I'm gonna head out soon, but yeah, pretty nuts. Washi robust. That is so cool that it survived. Yeah, and again, they can get really burnt. They can get spear pulled, but those things recover. They are some of the toughest palms in just the way that they are able to recover from that stuff. They are so tough. That is awesome. You can almost grow them as like deciduous palms. They'll die back in like places like, you know, really cold climates like sort of Albuquerque and some cold areas in New Mexico. They get burnt back really bad, but then they always recover every single year. It's amazing. My sago took a beating this winter. It still has a lot of green, and will it have new fronds this spring if I leave it this winter, but still has a lot of green. Will it have... Yeah, by April it should be fine to leave it out. I mean, you're in a little colder climate. I would definitely wait till April probably, but once April hits, beginning of April, it should be fine to have out. I left mine out for most of 2 winters ago, I think, and it got burnt. It got burnt in the low 20s, but it was out for a while, and it recovers fine. That's the thing, is they can die back, but they can burn back, but they will recover. They are they're tough. So yeah, I would say definitely take it out in April. Believe it or not. Same with mine, waiting until spring to prune. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'd say yeah. I mean, pruning you can sort of just do whenever, but yeah, probably smart to wait till spring. Thanks. Definitely pour, if you ever get spear pull or even expect it, even if you don't, if a palm's really badly damaged, put hydrogen peroxide down the crown. That's what I did. It is a miracle worker. That or copper fungicide. Do that. If you have hydrogen peroxide, most people will have them. Just pour it down the crown, like the growth point. Even if the spear hasn't pulled yet, pour it down there, and especially if it has, it will work wonders, and it kills the bacteria, and it prevents rot, prevents infection, and it will allow that spear to regrow. It works wonders. It worked on mine really well. So yes, absolutely. Again, I don't know if they probably would have recovered without it, but especially, it definitely helps a lot, and you never know. I'm gonna head in a second. This spring, if I leave it. Thanks, seriously, I was a little worried. His trunk is definitely getting thick, and I have tons of pics. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sure I've seen those pictures, but I don't know if your username is the same or not, but I'm sure I've seen those pictures. Same palm planet, might be moving to Florida. Oh, that's awesome. Tampa is such a great climate, and again, great for growing coconuts because it's sort of like a northernmost area, like a sort of a more northern area where you can grow them, but really, really cool. Absolutely. He has a house in Tampa. I just can't really do these rainy, wet winters. Yeah, I know, seriously, I'm getting, it is annoying here too. Again, it's not nearly as cold here as in Indiana, but it's still cold here sometimes, you know, low 40s, high 30s and rainy, which is a lot of our weather. It sucks. But then we do get the winter warmth sometimes, like you guys get in Indiana sometimes, so it's nice. But yeah, I get that totally. Concluded the best way to wrap is burlap. Yes, I don't have C9s, but that's definitely the best way probably. And I did use burlap this year and it works well, absolutely. I'm so thankful to have family. Yes, totally. I have several relatives in Fort Myers, Florida, so it's to have a reason to visit family there. I also have my step aunt, just my aunt, my great aunt. She lives in Portugal, so I visited there last summer. Literally, I have a reason to visit there for family, which is just like the coolest thing. Have a reason to visit Florida. You just gotta love that. Amazing. I am so thankful to have family through Florida. Yes, absolutely. It pays, and you know what? I think it honestly affects people's moods. It affects people's overall demeanor. It affects people's just how they are. You know, I mean, I think it's just more pleasant to be in a warm climate, and I absolutely agree. But again, it's about people. Some people love the cold. I personally don't, but I can handle it, you know, to a certain degree. It's on the side and chicken wire. Yes, absolutely. That's a smart way to protect them. Throughout Florida. Autocorrect. Yes. Throughout. Yes. Peroxide is a stopgap. Copper fungicide every 2 weeks. Yes, absolutely. That's what I was told. I do not have fungicide actually. I should get it, but peroxide worked well for me. Hey, Jesse Harris, great to see you in here. Hey, James Tropicals, we're getting some more people in here. That's awesome. So I'm unfortunately just about to end it here. I've been going for a little while, but I'm gonna head out soon. But I'm gonna, yeah. I mean, all is well here. All's well, and yeah. I mean, honestly, it's not too bad out. I thought it'd be worse today. High today was around 50, so I can't complain. It's colder than it was the weekend. Unfortunately, tomorrow's supposed to be really cold. High of like 41, low 40s, really miserable and rainy. But this week, last week, are supposed to be in the 60s. Last week was in the 60s, so really nice weather, and I cannot wait. So, yeah, thanks to y'all for joining in. I really always appreciate you so much. And as far as the comments are concerned, I am going to be responding to more of your guys' comments. Again, my goal always is to respond to every single comment I get on YouTube. Positive or negative. Hopefully you guys are just talking about the palms. Unfortunately, I get some people in there sometimes who just want to hate and want to deny that there are palms that grow in DC. But of course, you know, the evidence is out there. I show you guys always what grows here. I show you what doesn't grow here. I show you what dies and what gets damaged. So it's a zone pushing experiment here in DC with certain palms, but they do grow here. So I always, again, what I was saying is I know I'm behind on comments, but I hope to respond to all your guys' comments on YouTube. So continue commenting, and I will absolutely respond to you guys. But I appreciate all you guys viewing my videos, supporting and subscribing. All you guys, it means so much. And joining my live streams, it's just the most fun thing. I love doing live streams, so I hope to do a lot more. I'm sorry this one wasn't too palmy, but we'll get some more in there, don't worry. And a nice crepe myrtle in there, so some cool exotic plants regardless. Yeah, Georgetown's neat. So this is the edge. This is Rock Creek right here. So this crosses over Rock Creek Parkway, and then the creek's actually right next to it. And then that's Foggy Bottom right there, which is an area right next to downtown. I'm gonna see if you can see the Washington Monument. Actually, let's get to this bridge. Oh, I can't quite see it. Actually, sorry, yeah, you can't see it, but the Washington Monument is like right through there. I bet you can like almost see it. Is that it? I'm trying to see the Washington Monument, but I can't. Sorry guys, I don't think you actually can see the Washington Monument here, but yeah. Where do you plan on moving in the future, LA or Miami? I know you said you like Southern California, Mediterranean climate, but you got to admire Miami's. I love both of them very much. I honestly don't know which I like more. They both have advantages and disadvantages in terms of climate and stuff. I honestly, so obviously I'm going to go to college first. Hopefully I can go somewhere palmy. My goal is I would love to study something, botany or horticulture based, and also history, which is my other interest. So I absolutely do hope to move somewhere warm. I think Southern California is like my dream climate, but again, Florida does have some advantages with the fact that it's warmer and you can grow like lipstick palms and stuff that you cannot grow in Southern California. Helicopter flyover. Look at this, 62 seconds. These stoplights are like 90 seconds. The crosswalks are so long here. It's crazy. But yes, I love both of them is the short answer. My favorite climate is probably like the area around southern Baja California, the tropical desert climate, which unfortunately we don't have here in the continental U.S., but that's probably the best climate. The thing is, I like being able to grow dry climate stuff too, which you can't really grow in Florida. There's a difference between growing a coconut in California and growing like a saguaro in Florida. Saguaro is just going to rot. A coconut can actually make it, but I love both of the climates, and I guess we'll just have to see, but I'll keep you guys posted. Do I like sweet gum trees? Insect wildlife, I really do like sweet gum trees. I think they're cool, and I have a video that was taken about a month ago around New Year's of one that is still green, and I need to check back up on it soon because it may actually still be green here in DC. But they stay green so late here. They're like almost evergreen here, which is really cool. So I absolutely love them. Sweet gums are awesome, and they're native, which is cool. Hey, blast off. Kiss the baby, Alex. Great to see you in here. Blast off. I am just gonna head out soon, but I'm just doing a quick little live stream here in Georgetown. I just took a little walk up to the monkey puzzle tree, which is just down that way. Some really cool plants here in Georgetown. So yeah, you gotta love that. Really awesome. And really cool climate. What can I say? Love it. All right, folks, I think I'm gonna head out, but just wanted to keep you all posted. And hope you guys are doing well. Hope the what was I gonna say? I hope the rest of winter treats you well, and hopefully it is mild, because it has been cold, which I hate, but thankfully the majority of the winter's been mild, which of course doesn't mean much in terms of what we can grow here. The cold still damages the palms, but it is nice to have those warm periods, and that's what allows the palms to recover. So hopefully you guys have a nice mild rest of winter. I think spring is around the corner. I do believe that, looking at the forecast and stuff. Kiss the baby is sub. Yes. Thank you, Blasto. I appreciate you joining in. I appreciate all you guys joining in, but yeah, I'm just going to sign out here, and I got to start to head home now. It's starting to get dark, but just a little fun live stream in Georgetown, and I'll keep you guys updated. Let's do more palmy live streams from soon. I want to get down to some palmy places. I'm going to get down to Virginia Beach soon to get some more palms to plant around my town. I'm going to plant some in some public spots, so stay tuned for that, and very excited about that. So yeah, about our prospects with the I'm going to try to sort of palmify my town, plant some palms around, and keep you guys updated. So I do hope to go to Virginia Beach more often because it's so palmy down there. That's a really cool climate that I like. Virginia Beach and Albuquerque are probably my two favorite hardy palm climates in the U.S., like colder climates. Stuff like that. DC looks packed, and I love... Oh, yes, packed, yeah. Georgetown is, flooded with nightlife. So many people here. Love the evergreens I'm seeing. I love it. Gotta visit for sure. Totally visit. And also, if any of you guys visit here, I will give you... I'm making a sort of Google My Maps that shows all the palms that I visited in DC. So if you ever want any palm locations, do not hesitate to ask. I always have all the palm info where the palms are, and I'm always finding out about more. I find it myself, and people let me know. So there's more and more palms being added to that list. But if you ever want to know where any palms I film are, if you visit DC, I will for sure show you. And if you ever want to meet up with me, if you ever come to DC, let me know. I'll give you a tour of my garden, and I can take you guys to some of the cool palm spots if you want. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, DC's awesome. Personally, I don't really like sweet gums that much because they're... Yeah, I get that. They are native, though, which is cool native species. I like their wood. Yeah, the wood's cool. They sort of have this weird growth. It almost looks like a deciduous Italian cypress in a weird way. Some of them in the street sort of grow really narrow and tall. They have a really weird growth, and the leaves look kind of cool. They're like stars. But I do like their wood. Yes, they're cool trees. Indiana isn't packed until spring and summer because of the Indy 500. Oh yeah, I bet it is. I went to Indianapolis once. I went to Mound State Park because of my ancient history interest. Mound State Park is a cool place in Indiana, and I took a road trip there from Cincinnati, where I have family, and Indianapolis, I got to tell you, is a cool town. I really liked it, and good for zone pushing some hardy palms, right? You take care, boss. Thank you, Level Mooney. Always appreciate you joining in, and great to see all you guys in here. As always, stay tuned for future live streams. I didn't really give a notice on this one because it was sort of just a spur of the moment, but in the future, I try to let people know ahead of time so that they can be aware of upcoming live streams. So I'll let you guys know. Just packed up a patio peach. Beautiful spring flowers, hardy. Interesting, patio peach. I will look into that. Thank you, Dufrans. So they were Italian cypress. Oh, the ones in Alexandria, if that's what you're talking about, the ones that I filmed, those are absolutely Italian cypress. I looked it up, the cones and the foliage, that is 100%. I still have one of the cones that I kept. That is absolutely Italian cypress, no doubt. So they are growable here. They're not zone 8 plants. They are hardier than that. They're hardy in zone 7 here on the East Coast. So yeah, without further ado, guys, got to let you guys go, but I got to get home. But hope y'all are doing well, and just wishing you guys the best here in the DC area. Take care, folks. Have a good one. Stay tuned. Take care. I didn't think they were that hardy. They absolutely are. If you're in zone 7, maybe even zone 6, because I know my friend Cincy Tropics is growing them in Cincinnati. They are very hardy. Don't listen, obviously listen to what growers say, but you got to also test them out for yourself and see. They are fully hardy here. I really want to get one. They're awesome. Take care, folks. Thank you so much. Thanks, Blastoff. Thanks to all you guys. Dufrans, Level Mooney, all you guys, Insect Wildlife, and all you guys who joined in. Always so much fun to live stream, and I'll keep you guys posted about some upcoming ones. Take care.